This cargo exploit could destroy 3.24. Okay, let's see. Let's check it out. University of Stanton, good channel.
It's the long-awaited 3.24 and you're happily running a brand new cargo mission when out of nowhere someone slips by and tugs away some or all of the precious cargo you need to complete your contract. Who could have or should have seen this coming? Well, if you want the honest answer, everyone. This is University of Stanton. Rant is in session.
Okay, a rant. Here we go.
We're fresh off the bitter taste of a cargo duping exploit that made numerous players multi-billionaires and banned a tiny fraction of players, about 600 of them, that were inexplicably selling AUEC to idiots on the gray market. A lot of us suspected something might be up in 3.24 when last week's Inside Star Citizen showcased the new cargo hauling missions supported by outpost cargo elevators that were clearly visible and open to the outside world. I had posted a screenshot from the video on X at the time. I see we've learned nothing, admittedly not knowing for sure what plan, if any, CIG had to protect the zone and cargo. I'm usually pretty positive on this channel, and I will be. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But this is worth addressing directly and honestly. That hunch was unfortunately correct, as word coming out of Evocati confirms that there are in fact no such protections in place, and that cargo is not only grabbable from that loading zone, but can be stolen in bulk with a single click. One user writes, I quote, "Tested out some cargo hauling mechanics with a buddy, and there's a major issue with other players being able to easily steal anything on a freight/cargo elevator. All they have to do is run up to the console while you're loading/unloading and lower the elevator. All of the cargo is instantly transported into the thief's inventory instead of returning to the owner. This affects freight elevators everywhere, outposts, personalized hangars, etc." End quote. I want to be clear here.
Okay. First off, this is the test build. Okay, we're talking the PTU, not even the PT. We're talking about the Evocati build. So this will be taken care of. This will be handled. I can't imagine this is going to be like going out to the PU, but if it is, oh my God.
I love Star Citizen and CIG. I have the utmost respect for our developers, some of whom have graciously taken their time out to speak directly to me. And the last thing I want to do is berate anyone for messing up anything in this never-before-done project or discourage them along the way. However, I'm on my knees begging with tears in my eyes for CIG to please heed this gentle reminder. Pay attention to what you're doing. Amidst this crew of 1,000 excellent employees at multiple studios around the world, many of whom play Star Citizen themselves, it disappointed me that apparently not once in any meeting room or Zoom call, not one of them spoke up and said, excuse me, I see a potential gameplay problem here with leaving people's cargo hanging out in the open wind. Or worse, that someone said that and the rest did nothing. Or even worse, that someone thought that but didn't want to rock the boat or feared reprisal. I don't know which scenario happened or why, but none of it should have, let alone manifested downline on Evocati. This late in the development game and with so many important things yet to come, lack of attention to detail and lack of care with gameplay implications hurts. CIG knows that many of its players, myself included, are little shits. They know we're going to steal everything that's not nailed down, and know that there needs to be a plan for the perpetrators to have risk and the victims to have some recourse, tier 0 or not. As a PvPvE open world sandbox game, this is one of the basics, even in proof of concept. And there are plenty of other games running the gamut of MMO, PvP, sandbox.
You know, this is something I've often thought in terms of game development throughout the years. And I'm just starting to watch Mythic Quest, which is the dude from Sunny in Philadelphia. So this is kind of funny too, because I was watching a particular portion of the show where they have these two girls who are in QA. They're like game testers, right? It's really a funny show, actually. I'm enjoying it. And I was thinking to myself, like, of course, Cloud Imperium has a QA department. They've got game testers there. But like, I was also thinking, like, how often do you think the actual designers play the game? Like, what if this might sound a little crazy, but just bear with me for a second. What if it was like a mandatory thing where Cloud Imperium said, okay, if you're a designer, like you're not in the QA department, you're not a game tester, you're not playing the game, you're designing, you're developing it, you're coding it, right? Well, how about they actually have like a mandatory amount of time they got to play Star Citizen every week? Is that a crazy thought? Is that crazy? Like be like, okay, we're gonna log your hours playing this game, like 2, 3, 4 hours a week. Pay them like you would. I think that would kind of clear up a lot of these issues. Like you wouldn't even need fucking meetings. Like you wouldn't even need to have like different departments and different developers like meeting and talking things out. You just say, okay, like you're coding, you're developing, you're working on mechanics in the game. How much have you played the game? Like how often have you played the game? Like how many hours have you played the game? Like how about, is this a bad idea? Finger says it's counterproductive. I don't know. Like to me, like say somebody got upset about that. Imagine, okay, say I'm a boss, say I'm Chris right now. I put a memo out. I tell all the developers, okay, listen, I know some of you are involved in the game design, okay, in terms of this, in fact, what we're talking about right now. So like here's the memo. You have to play 4 hours of Star Citizen every single week, and we'll log it. And we'll pay you for it, like we would pay you whatever your salary is. You will get paid for that. You have to log 4 hours of playtime of Star Citizen every single week. Now, here's the part I want you to understand. I get it. Like there's a QA team and there's a team that does that, right? But would it be that bad for other departments and people doing that to actually play the game? Would it be bad? Wouldn't that be like an investable thing for people to actually play their own game that they're developing? Like if they got upset with me, if I got the replies on the memo and they were upset that I made it mandatory for them to play the game, like imagine me as Chris right now, okay? Just imagine me as Chris sitting down. I write this memo out. And the next day I come into the office and I get like all these replies to my email, to my memo. And 40% of my workforce is pissed off they have to play the game that we're building. Okay? I'm going to fucking fire you. I'm going to go Elon Musk. I'm going to Musk you. I'm going to Elon Musk you. Like that tells me you have no passion for the game. You're not going to play the game that you're building? Fired. Done. Gone. I only want people that want this to become a reality. Like, does that sound weird? Am I going a little too like ham on that, in that statement? You guys get where I'm coming from on that? I don't know. Call me crazy.
Providing perfect examples of systems to handle these issues in sleek, functional ways that respect all players.
Imagine, great analogy, Zaf. Imagine a chef that cooks food in a restaurant. You order it, you eat it, but the chef doesn't want to taste it. Like the chef won't eat his own cooking. Like, could you imagine? That's a better analogy than my analogy. OG's making me aware of that. Like, could you imagine that?
There's time and effort. You, viewers, are smart, and I'd love to see you help here by filling the comments below with the games and systems you've seen handle inventory, trade, and missions correctly, so that if the developers do watch this, they have all the wealth of knowledge we can muster to help them craft a round wheel. Because this and many of the wheels they find themselves trying to build don't need to be totally reinvented. What does this mean for the future of 3.24? Do you think we'll see an extended delay on Evocati as gameplay implications are reconsidered and addressed, or do you think there was a plan for this already?
And Hugh says, not all developers are gamers and have big, fast rigs. Well, that's where I'm a nice boss, Hugh, and I make sure that everybody has an awesome gaming rig that they're working on. Like, I would make sure that every rig that they're working on would be able to play it as superbly so, right, Hugh? Like then we would talk about the remote workers, and then I would buy them a rig and I would send it to their house. It's an investment because they'd be playing the game and they'd be like, okay, well, these are the things that are wrong. I'm playing the game. I can see what's wrong right in front of my eyes, rather than be like hands off, detached, and have somebody tell you what's wrong. It's a little odd to me, like that in terms of, like, I never got that in terms of game development, but okay. You know, I'm not in game development. I'm only watching. I'm only a fan on the outside looking in on game development. I've never actually been in game development, worked for a game developer. But like, I think what I'm saying makes sense. I think.
Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to join our community on Discord. This is University of Stanton.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd deliver it that way, Zav, right? Like, you're going to sit down, play SC, and have fun. Do you understand, or you're fired? Simple. Now do it. I don't think that's how I deliver the memo, but I've said worse, Zav. And you know, I'm really bad. I'm not very articulate, as you know, Zav. So, like, that might actually be the memo. You're going to sit down, play SC, and have fun. Do you understand, or you're fired? Simple. Now do it. That's what I'm saying, OG. Thank you, OG. That is what I'm getting at. OG, you said it perfectly. You said what I can't say. And OG is saying this perfectly. I can't imagine being in game development and not being a gamer, right? Like, if I had a game development company, I would make goddamn well sure they were gamers, number one. Number two, I would want them to be playing the game that it is that we are making. And I think that I'd have less problems with communication and workflow if everybody played the game who was working on the game, because they would know what the problems were rather than having the problems fed to them a third person in a fucking email. Call it common sense, I guess. You know, and I know some people would have a problem with that. And I would say, fine, peace out. I'll get somebody that doesn't feel the way that you feel. The world's a big place. And I will get people that will play the game and have fun playing the game, and will fix the game as they play the game. You know? Hugh says, DG, I would probably have a consistent LAN party set up in a meeting room or two for people to always be playing in. Absolutely. Absolutely, Hugh. Absolutely. And then you go in, you log your 2 to 4 hours, and that's that. And, you know, you played Star Citizen for the allotted amount of hours for the week, and then you know what's going on. You know what's going on in the game that you're playing, and you're not just playing it out of the servers. You're playing it in the servers with other people, and you're able to see the issues that there are in terms of not only the game mechanics and the design, but also what's going on in the way that NPCs and AI are reacting to the server, and also the way that the gamers are reacting to the actual elements in the game. You can see it firsthand when you're playing the PU. Have them play the PU, have them see these issues at that level, and then be able to attack it. It just makes it just seems like it's common sense. And if people have an issue with that are working for the company, then obviously it's, you know, it's like, okay, bye. I'm going to get, like, I don't know. I don't know.